Are Will and Jada Pinkett Smith consciously recoupling? Jada Pinkett Smith sat down with Hoda Kotb because she's promoting her new book that's called Worthy. And so from the book, there are a lot of bombshells that have been dropped. And so, of course, Hoda Kotb sits down with her, with Jada Pinkett Smith, to talk about the bombshells. And one of the things that we're all talking about right now is that Jada Pinkett Smith is suggesting that they are really trying to work on the relationship to be together.
So we've been willing to do work together. After the Oscars, that's when we did some really deep work together. And when I was sitting at the Oscars, it clicked in. As soon as I was like, oh, snap.
What, Squid?
What's the matter?
You're annoyed.
No, it's just making me smile. Like, they're getting back together because Will smacked the hell out of Chris Rock.
It's hot to her, is that what you're
that's what I'm
saying?
saying. He filled the bad boy role that Tupac used to fill.
He's smiling because it goes along with his theory.
Oh, I can tell you
Yes.
smile hit because his eyes are beady sometimes. So I thought I thought he had a skeptical look.
No,
I couldn't see your mouth. I just could just see
I
your
have a
eyes.
skeptical look.
Yeah.
The look that is the fact that I think Will Smith had the agenda, and that's why he purposely did that, because he knew he could get her attention and try to get her back, which is crazy because why would anybody want to be back with her? And what's the point of this relationship anyway?
I know, it's bizarre. Yeah, I don't think it was planned. I think it all happened. And then,
Right.
I think he took advantage of the moment. I think, if I do this, it's really going to show. You know what I mean?
Maybe after the fact, yeah.
Oh.
You hit Chris? I was like, I'm riding with you. I didn't come into this place as your wife, but I'm leaving here as your wife because we got a storm we're going to have to deal with together. I am not going to leave your side.
You know what that tells me, because I've been in situations like this.
Yeah.
She's someone that loves drama.
And
then, and I know people that they don't even get along.
Mm-hmm.
And they might be related. They might be family members. They might just be married or whatever. But then they have drama and like a common enemy. Their common enemy is now the media. And so then they bond together in the toxicity.
And really, I think, because I was thinking about how to summarize what it is that we are hearing, and it does seem the one word I can use is toxic. I mean, it's toxic for Will Smith. It's toxic for Jada Pinkett Smith. It's toxic for their children. It's toxic for their family, because none of this is going to ever be unheard.
Right.
Do you know? It's like going forward, this is just going to be that it might lessen over time as things do.
Yeah.
And fade into your memory the way things do. But it's things that your children will remember forever.
Oh, yeah.
And your family will remember forever.
Yeah. And so, and then she was like, because we found out they were only going to public events together and they were living totally separate lives into different homes and everything. And then because now there's drama, now she's like, oh, I'm into him again. Yeah,
and also something that I was thinking about is, Jada Pinkett Smith, when she started the whole red table talk, that thing, it was all like, this is where the truth comes out. This is where we're real and we're honest. I'm like, no, you're not.
You left out
no,
the fact
you weren't there.
Yeah. Living separate lives for 7 years.
And I think it's a good lesson to remember that even when you say, oh, this is where the real talk happens and this is where we tell you the truth, nobody's always telling 100% of the truth.
No,
they're just not.
Yeah.
Especially when they're like a celebrity that big.
Yeah, sure.
They're not. She did not one time divulge. Now, Jada Pinkett Smith aired a lot of dirty laundry. A lot, like I was seeing this guy and we're not, like all those things, but never said we're not together. We've been separated for 7 years. Not one time did that come out.
I saw something yesterday, and Jason, I don't know if you're about to say
What's
something.
the matter?
I'm sorry, I can't
I'm looking
see
at
you.
Jason's face. It's making me laugh.
I know. What's the matter?
Squidward or Jason, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead. What?
No, I saw something. There's something that came out just yesterday where Will Smith, he planned a 40th birthday for her years ago.
Okay.
And had like Mary J. Blige there. It was over the top. And she complained and said, oh, this party's just for your ego. And how dare you do this over the top party for me? I'm like, what the F? Nothing's ever good enough. And because he's in a situation where he's used to trying to please, he goes, yeah, you're right. It is about me. I'm so sorry. He's apologizing for doing an over top birthday to surprise her.
Well, those are his own issues. Those are his own, and he has to resolve those himself, because
it's the constant trying to please people.
But that's where we differ, because yes, I understand that can be a disadvantage for him, but you have to make your own changes. You cannot rely on somebody else to make your life better.
If you're doing
It's,
a nice gesture for your spouse,
I
and
agree.
then they like slam you and it's not good enough,
Right.
That's to me is abusive in its own right. It's emotionally abusive. You're walking on eggshells because nothing's ever good enough. And then you get into those trauma bond type things where you're like, oh, okay, then you're just and he wants to stay married, like for whatever reason. We talked about
I
Squid
think
with
'cause
the
he's got his own.
of course
Yeah,
he has
his
abandonment
own-
issues.
or his own secrets that he doesn't, for some reason or another,
Maybe
want to divulge.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, that's horrible. Think you do some over top thing for your husband Ben. And he's
No,
like,
I
how
get it.
dare you, Katie? I don't want you doing all this stuff for me. And you're
I
like,
get it. That's an ungrateful,
Okay.
an ungrateful an ungrateful thing to do. But people and who get into relationships and expect the other person to just make their life all rosy, that's not how it works.
That's,
Well, at least he got some kind of response. But the fact of the matter is, that
I guess.
it's just like he is super famous.
I mean, you see, people's personal issues might skew the way they view things.
Well,
actually, Katie, or can inform more correctly
Could.
that these things occur.
Could.
Like I've been in relationships where you're constantly trying to make it okay because you want to keep your family together,
Sure.
and nothing's good enough.
Yeah.
And so then you find yourself doing and saying things you wouldn't normally do because you're in a high pressured situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Can add some light.
It can give you more information that hey, these things do occur, and
It
these
can
are
do
real life
both.
things.
It can do both.
Yeah,
It
do
can
both.
shine light and
Yeah, and it can skew it. Sure.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
I don't remember what this is.
You're talking about how Carol's not grateful for any of the parties.
I
you
did
throw.
not say that.
What?
Oh.
I did not say that.
You did not say that.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with parties, but
Something about response.
anything that you do for somebody and whatever, he's got a reaction, but not the reaction that he wanted. But I think that's become a routine. Like, I mean, he's super famous. He has all the money in the world. He can find other people, and he could find love somewhere else.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of a weird when somebody treats you like that way of having to want to make them justify you and your actions to make you feel like I am doing the right thing. I am good. It's an addiction almost. And that's where I believe the state that he's in. I believe that he got really mad at that because he's trying to live up to her expectations possibly. And even when he smacked Chris Rock, he got the overpassionate, and he believes that this is kind of like an expectation for her, and he can be justified by her. And it has been, because now they're working on it. And to me, that's all. He's got to get out of that, and she's got to too.
There's also something to be said for, I mean, it's not very common, but we do hear that there are couples who, you go through the not so fun stages. Like, it's all fun in the beginning. It's the lust and the
they're
dating
so
and the
excited,
excitement
yeah.
and the connection. And then having the years, and then whether you have children or you're in the grind, as we call it, that there is something very real to be said for resentment building.
Oh,
that if you're
sure.
not good at communicating, or you've stopped communicating, that you just naturally start to assume what the other person is thinking, or you're projecting onto them how you're feeling. And so then you resent each other. And then you
assume
don't
everything
want to
they're
do
doing
the
is
work.
negative, and it's not
And
all
you,
the time.
You choose not to do the work. I
Right.
don't want to. And then maybe something does happen where you're like, you know what? If we work on this, if we communicate and we go to therapy, we do the things, then you can come back together.
I believe
maybe
that
that's
if
happening.
both people are willing to really, really work at
But
it,
it has to be both.
it has to be both, and it can't be an uneven thing.
Right.
Like you're trying to prove the whole time, or they're telling you need to
Mhm.
prove this. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, especially going in thinking, well, it's nothing to do with me.
Oh,
No, you
sure.
can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe that's what's happening here. I don't know. I didn't know that was their end game, because I wondered several times, like, what is the end game here? It seems
and
like
we
they
don't
hated
know.
each other for a long time.
Sorry, and
Yeah.
they might be saying that to each other, but they need to come through of what they're saying. Like,
Yeah.
she might be saying, yeah, but that's just like a string dangling. You know what I'm saying? And not come through, and then that can cause resentment
Yeah.
with each other and everything else.
I know. So interesting. At this point, I'm like, can you all do this behind closed doors?
Yeah.
Because I don't know.
It feels as though that he doesn't want
He
it
didn't
out.
say anything.
It sounds like she's the one that is
Well,
releasing this stuff.
And she's on her book tour. She's on the promotion for her book. And when you drop a ton of bombshells in a book, and then you've already signed up, I'm not saying she can't
it
get
makes
out
the
of
book
it,
better, yeah.
but it makes the book
Sales.
better. And then it's
Sales.
yeah. So I don't know.
And then she's probably doing the book too, because probably in the back of her mind, it's like, we ain't gonna be together we're already not living together. Any moment we're going to get divorced.
But now she's saying the opposite.
Yeah.
So that was a turn that I did not see coming at all. All right. So here's something else I didn't see coming. We know that Tommy Lee loves to party. Married to Pamela Anderson for years and years and years. They have 2 children together. They've separated, and now he's remarried, right? He's remarried.
Yeah.
think so.
And Tommy Lee from Motley Crue just admitted to drinking an insane amount of alcohol every single day.
It's easy to fall in love with.
He's talking to
the
Bill
way it
Maher,
makes you
by the way.
feel, the way it makes you relax, and then all of a sudden you're like, I'm drinking 2 gallons of vodka a day? This is not
Holy cow.
Well, it can't be
Jeez.
real.
Gallons. Oh, I believe him.
like you're trying to kill yourself now. This is not like
Are you talking about yourself?
yeah.
Come on.
2 gallons a
No.
day. I swear to you, dude, I swear to God.
Gallons?
Gallons, the big handle.
I know what a gallon is.
Oh my
Dude.
gosh.
Because I know it's 4 quarts.
Yes.
And a quart is like a bottle of liquor, is a normal bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So you drank 8 bottles of liquor?
Yeah. A day.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my wife.
For how long?
Man, for a long time.
I mean, your liver must be made of asbestos.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe I pinch myself on a daily basis. Like I just did like the full body scan where they do head to toe everything, and I can't believe smoking, drinking. Dude, the doctor was like, "You're good."
He got lucky.
He did.
He got
Yeah.
lucky.
I want to do the full body scan, but I'm
Gallons.
too afraid.
Yeah. I'd do it if it
Scary.
was free.
Yeah, I'm not too afraid. I definitely want
I
to know.
want
I
it.
just don't have the money.
Yeah. And if something is wrong, then I think insurance will actually kick and pay for it.
Okay.
So if something's not wrong, that's when you have to pay for it. But it seems to me it would be nice for everybody to get a full body scan because it can prevent death. I
Yes.
mean, legit. I know it's a lot of money, and I say this to myself to rev myself up. It can prevent death. It could possibly get something detected before it's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah, and insurance should cover that because it's preventative maintenance.
I would definitely do it. But what is it, like $1,500?
Something like
plus.
that, yeah.
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 Ugh.
Yeah.
Out of pocket, right then and there.
Yeah, I'd rather pay
And
for all
then-
the hospital visits.
Yeah, I mean, I spend it on food a month, I think.
I would want to know the results immediately, and I don't know if they give you the results immediately. So you have to
You have to wait.
have the worst anxiety of your life after that.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me, I've been there, not to bring anything down, but I remember my dad, they're like,
Yeah.
you could have cancer, but you might not. It could be this. And then they're like, we'll do a biopsy. You'll know in 2 or 3 days. And you're just waiting to know if you have cancer or not.
Ugh.
And
Awful.
unfortunately, found I had cancer. But it's just like,
Just wait.
you feel like you're in a movie. You're like, is this happening?
Mhm.
How old is Tommy Lee?
He's
Is
going to be
he
50,
60?
right? Oh, maybe he is 60. I don't know.
I don't know.
You would think.
61.
61?
Okay.
Yep, 61.
Wow. Okay.
So maybe it was because he had youth on his side. I don't know, for a long time.
I guess. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, and then one thing I like with Bill Maher when he has people on, he does challenge anything they say. Like he'll challenge, like, and then then he'll just drop it. But he's like, seriously, are you sure?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I did it every day.
He's like, I know what a handle is,
Right.
Oh.
or a gallon is, or whatever it is he said.